In today's video, we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Vanguard and settings within the game to help you have a better experience with FPS and visibility issues. Let's get right into it. Okay, before we get into the settings, there's one more thing I want to talk about. So if you've imported your settings from other Call of Duties when you start the game up, that's perfectly fine, but please stick around because there are a few new settings within Call of Duty Vanguard that we need to go over. Under the gameplay tab within the keyboard and mouse settings, there's going to be this automatic airborne mantle. I want to set this to partial, and the two settings underneath that, turn it off. This helps you with the slide canceling issue, so sometimes your player will jump after a slide cancel. So this alleviates that and helps you move around the map faster. After that, we're going to be talking about the display graphics under the graphics tab. So display mode is going to be full screen. This helps reduce input lag to the fullest. Display resolution, you want to set it to auto, so whatever your native resolution is for your monitor, make sure it's set to that. After that, we're going to talk about the refresh rate. For me, I have a 144 hertz monitor, so whatever hertz monitor you have for refresh rate, make sure within the Windows settings of your system and the game are set to max. For VSync, I turn both of these off. I don't have issues with screen tearing, and I want to reduce input lag as much as possible. For the frame rate, I like to set this to custom because within the menus or a minimized game, I don't want my GPU running at full power, so I minimize these just to alleviate that. For aspect ratio, you usually have this automatic. For brightness, I really would suggest listening to this until the center logo is barely visible, just because you don't want your game to look super washed out. Alright, next tab we're going to be going over is the quality tab. So for the quality presets, I usually set this to the lowest, just because I don't have to go in and change all the settings. I only have to change a few of them. So for the render resolution, you always want this at 100. You always want your native resolution for your monitor, so the game is as smooth as possible. So for texture resolution, I usually just put low instead of the lowest, just to have just a little bit more sharpness around enemy player models, just to have the best visibility. After that, I usually have everything else as low as possible. Bullet impact and sprays, it doesn't really matter. Shader quality doesn't matter. Tessellation, I know people have this on, but for me this is the best FPS settings, right? So this, if you turn this on, it does take away some FPS, but it also makes your game look better. For me, I don't have an issue. I think the game looks great without it. So all these, like the nearby levels, all the distance levels, I also do with the tessellation. So I turn all these as low as possible just to get the more frames. All right, next we're gonna be talking about shadows and lighting. For these, I have everything on pretty much low as possible or off. Besides these two settings right here, the cache sun shadows and the cache spot shadows. For these, they pretty much turned on so you can help speed up rendering for future frames. Alright, for NVIDIA DLSS, I just have it off. I kind of tested here and there, and sometimes the game was too blurry, or it just didn't really help FPS like a good amount, so I just leave it off just because it's easier for me. Fidelity FX Super Resolution and the Fidelity FX CAS settings. These are some new settings within Vanguard, and these help you with the sharpness of the textures in the game. So turning the CAS on will help your game have more edges to objects to help everything kind of pop more. For me, I have my settings turned on within the NVIDIA control panel, and that's enough for me, so I don't have this on. But if you don't do that, you can actually try this, and it's really helping with visibility issues. For anti-aliasing, I usually have this on SMAA T2X, but with every time I reset the game, it kind of automatically sets it to this. So whatever you really want. There's not a huge difference. Depth of field's always off. Right, next is the gameplay under the graphics tab. So the main thing on these are the weapon motion blur off and world motion blur off. And a huge new one that a lot of people don't know yet is the camera movement. So this by default is set to 100. So having this as low as possible will help visibility and kind of like motion sickness. For NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, I've always had this on plus boost. I've never seen an issue with it on or off. I always just get a little bit more FPS. Next is the audio tab. I know this has nothing to do with FPS or visibility, but for the audio mix, is a lot more different than the previous years. So this one doesn't have like high boost or low boost. So basically the best one to use is headphones. Next is gonna be the interface tab. There's a few settings in here that I changed just to kind of help me with like playing the game or visibility wise. So FPS counter, I always have this shown to see what I'm getting. And I also like to do the server latency and packet loss. Another setting I don't see a lot of people use is the horizontal HUD bounce. I've been doing this since like Black Ops 2. Pretty much turn this down as low as possible, just for me, so your mini map is as close as the center of the screen as you can get, so you don't have to really look up and you have less time looking at your map while you're in the game. Another thing is the mini map shape. As you see right here, the mini map as a square has a bigger surface area, so you could possibly see a dude camping in a, say like right here there's a dude camping, right? Or is it not camping, but there's a dude here. You won't be able to see him unless you get closer and he has an angle on you, as of, look, he's right here camping in the corner. You can see that. So that'll help you with map awareness more. Another one is crosshair bobbing, right? This one is huge. So basically this is when you're moving, mantling, firing, or getting hit, flinching, your camera is gonna shake a lot more and your crosshair is gonna move. So you don't want this because you want to be able to stay on target, and it kind of helps with motion sickness. Okay, that's all the settings that I use to get a lot of FPS and a lot more visibility within the game. If you have any more tips or tricks that I didn't go over and you think would be helpful, make sure to drop them in the comments below. If you do not already subscribe, please consider doing so, as I'll be dropping Call of Duty content this whole year. I do stream on Twitch, on twitch.tv/Moaxzy. I will leave a description down below. Here you can watch me play live as I'll be going through the Atomic Camo series grind, and it's going to be a tough one. That's going to be it for the video today. So if you liked the video, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you have any more tips or tricks, please put them down in the comments below for other people to see. And if you made it this far, thank you so much, Maniac, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.